Good morning, children. Welcome back. I am Mrs. Sithara, your social science teacher. In today's session, we will do Class 7 Geography Unit 1 Resources Part 1. Come, children, let us learn about resources. Children, what are we going to learn in this unit? We will know the importance of a resource. We will describe the renewable resources and we will try to understand the non-renewable resources and also identify the fossil fuel resources. Now children, resource, R-E-S-O-U-R-C-E, resource, it is a source of supply, support or aid. It is a collective wealth of a country or its means of producing wealth. So that is the meaning of a resource. And in this lesson, we will understand the importance of resources and learn about the renewable, that is, that can be replaced, and non-renewable, which cannot be replaced, resources in detail. Come children, let us learn. Children, a natural resource are those resources that exist without any actions of humankind. That is, it includes sunlight, atmosphere, water, land with all the vegetation and animal life. That is, it is any substance or energy source such as minerals, forests, water and fertile land, sunlight, wind, or any other thing that occur in nature and can be used for our benefit. They are very vital to support our way of life. Wars have been and will continue to be fought over every one of these natural resources. The mineral resources like the gold, copper, gems contribute to the wealth of nation. Water is vital for life and is often fought over. We can classify natural resources on the basis of their origin and the basis of their renewability. That is, we can classify the resources on the basis of their origin, from where they are available, as well as whether they are available again or not. It can be replaced or not. Based on their origin, you can classify it into biotic resources and abiotic resources. Which are the two classifications? Biotic and abiotic. B-I-O-T-I-C, biotic, and abiotic, A-B-I-O-T-I-C, abiotic. And the basis of renewability, renewability means replaceable, R-E-N-E-W-A-B-I-L-I-T-Y, renewability. We can classify it into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. That is, resources that can be replaced and not replaced. Children, a country's social, economic and political strength lies in the distribution, utilization and conservation of its resources. That is, a country's conditions or strength, like what is the social status of the country, or what is the economic condition, or what is the political strength. All these things are dependent on the resources, how it is distributed, how it can be utilized and conserved. So, you can say a country's status depends on the distribution, utilization as well as the conservation of its resources. Now, we will see what is a resource. Anything which can be used for satisfying the human needs is called a resource. What is a resource? Anything which can be used for satisfying the human need is called a resource. And natural resources are those that exist without action of humankind. If a resource is available without our action, that is without human beings intervention, then we say that resource to be a natural resource. Children, you can see the various natural resources in the picture. They are air, water, soil, trees, forest, wildlife, coal, petroleum, natural gas and minerals. Without the human beings intervention, all these things are available in nature. The natural resources are obtained from the environment. We can get the natural resources from the environment. Many natural resources are essential for human survival. Humans are completely dependent on the natural resources, except for the people who go to space and live there. All the human beings, those who live on the earth, need the natural resources, and we have to take care of the natural resource for our future generations. Resources always cannot be consumed in their original form. Some resources cannot be consumed as such. For example, the minerals that is obtained, it will be in the form of their ores. We cannot use it directly. It has to be converted into human usable form. But they must be processed into usable commodities and usable things. So it has to be converted into different things which are usable by human beings. Children, now we will learn the importance of natural resource. Natural resources satisfy the daily needs of man, such as food, clothing and shelter. You know, children, the basic need of a human being is food, clothing, shelter and water. So it is from these natural resources that we are able to satisfy our daily needs. Sometimes we may have to spend money for that. Natural resources also contribute immensely to boost up a nation's economy. So the nation's economy is dependent on the availability and usage of natural resources. You know, children, the countries in Gulf are rich in oil resource, isn't it? So they started mining up the oil and natural resources and they have become rich. That is an example of boosting up of nation's economy. Children, the natural resources derived from the environment can be categorized on the basis of origin, like abiotic resources, which comprise of non-living things like land, water, air, minerals, etc. and biotic resources that are obtained from the biosphere. So, on the basis of origin, resources may be divided into two types. They are biotic resources and abiotic resources. The biotic resources are living things like the plants, animals, then bacteria, fungi and all living things that has got life. And abiotic resources are non-living things like the water, soil, light, minerals and air. Now we will learn about the biotic resources in detail. The biotic resources are found in the biosphere, which are obtained from living and organic material. So where is it available? The biotic resources are available in the biosphere. That means they are obtained from living and organic materials. It includes forests, crops, birds, animals, fishes, man and material that can be obtained from them. So what are the biotic resources? Forests, crop, birds, animals, fishes, man and materials that can be obtained from all these things. Fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum are also included in this category because they are formed from decayed organic matter. Children, a fossil fuel is a fuel formed by a natural processes such as decomposition of buried dead organisms. They are formed under the earth in millions of years ago. Dead organisms sank into mud and rock. Over time, many layers of rock built up. The remains of organisms slowly changed into a form to become different kinds of fossil fuels. Examples of fossil fuels are coal, oil, and natural gas. Children, there are 4 layers of the earth. They are called as the lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. The lithosphere or geosphere describes all the rocks, minerals, and the found on the earth. Hydrosphere describes all the water, including the water in the oceans, in the vapor, and in the form of ice. Atmosphere is that layer of gases surrounding the earth. And biosphere is composed of all living organisms on the planet, including plants, animals, bacteria. And biosphere is all the parts of and around the planet Earth where life can be found. It reaches to the sky where birds fly and deep down to the ocean that microorganisms or tiny creatures live. Children, the pictures show how coal, petroleum and natural gas were formed over the years. You can see swamp area, that is wet area, 300 million years ago. Before the dinosaurs, many giant plants died in the swamp. Over millions of years, the plants were buried under water and dirt. Heat and pressure turned the dead plants into coal. You can see petroleum and natural gas. Tiny sea plants and animals died and were buried on the ocean floor. Over time, they were covered by layers of silt and sand. Over millions of years, the remains were buried deeper and deeper. The enormous heat and pressure turned them into oil and gas. Today, we drill down through the layers of sand, silt, and rock to reach the rock formations that contain oil and gas deposits. After learning about biotic resources, let us learn about abiotic resources. Abiotic resources are the non-living parts of the environment. Examples are land, water, air, sunlight, heavy metals including ores such as gold, iron, copper, silver, etc. Children, abiotic factors are non-living chemical and physical parts of the environment that affect the living organisms, and it also affects the functioning of the ecosystem. For example, there is a vast difference in water and humidity between a rainforest area and a desert. Hence, there is a diversity of organisms that survive in these areas. So it creates the boundaries of what species can survive within the environment. Before we wind up for today, let us have a recap of what we discussed in this session. We learned about the resources as well as the classification of resources based on the origin, that is biotic and abiotic. Children, in the next session, we will discuss about the other classification of resources. Now it's the time for worksheet number 1. Answer the following questions. First one, define resource. Define resource. Distinguish between biotic and abiotic resources. Distinguish between biotic and abiotic resources. Copy the questions in your rough note and learn it well and write it as home test and WhatsApp me the answers. Time to wind up our session, my dear children. Thank you for watching the class. For more videos and book bag solutions, please subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed.